Yeah, and then the other quick thing, Sony's developing a Madam Web movie, which makes zero sense.
I want to hear like your take on this because you seemed like triggered by it.
Because it's just a character. It's a supporting character who has never ever in the history of Marvel Comics had her own Marvel thing. It's just she's a supporting Spider-Man character who is Doctor Strange-esque, has lots of powers, deals with multiverse, but she's usually used in a like setting stuff up, and I try to defend Sony so much during that Disney Spider-Man debacle, and I still do sometimes. And I go, you know what? Maybe they can make that great Spider-Man movie. But then when I hear they're developing a Madam Web movie, I go, oh, right. This is why I was so happy they were back with Spidey was in the MCU. So I will still try and be have some faith.
Faithful.
But yeah, not faithful. I'll have faith, but like that's just not. It's just not what you do.
It is interesting because maybe I just read the title. Paula Taylor. Just read the clickbait article because I wasn't like too sure that it was her getting her own standalone movie or they're just talking about having her in there. It's very interesting because like Spider-Man's my favorite hero and I'm not even too familiar with Madam Web.
Deep cut. She's in the. You'll get to watch her in the. You should definitely watch the Spider-Man 90 animated series if it's on Disney.
I've seen majority of it.
Yeah, well, you should watch it because she's in the later seasons.
You said now that she has like a multiverse kind of power.
She can do that. Thing. Yeah, she's not like slingering in it, but has a chair. She's like has cards.
It's a levitating chair.
She is sometimes. Yeah. It's a very complex character.
His hand-me-down.
I'm thinking, obviously they want to create their own multiverse thing because they have the Spider-Man thing. So maybe it's how they dive into bring Tom Holland's Spider-Man into, the Spider-Verse. Or maybe it's how they bring in like more like Tobey and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man into there. I think they have a plan set up.
No, I don't think they got a plan set up. She doesn't need her own movie.
Yeah, but Sony, I think, is like in the boat of like, hey, we're just gonna give you a character movie. Like Venom, we're gonna give you a movie. Carnage, maybe we'll give you a movie. Morbius,
I gotta push back there.
Like a plan.
I gotta push back there because Venom. I feel like if you know Spider-Man, you know who Venom is. Like he's just such like a bigger household name for fans. Even if you're not the biggest I almost said Star Wars fan, Spider-Man fan.
If you're a big Star Wars fan, you know who Venom is.
Yeah, no, it's just like I feel like. Also, that's one of the characters that just everyone was wanting to see him, like a better version than what we got from like Topher Grace's Venom.
We kind of got that.
What are you talking about from Venom?
We kind of got a better version. But
you're saying we kind of got a better version. You're not saying it was a huge step up from the look alone.
It was a huge step up because
just the look alone.
The look alone for sure. Because in most cases you see like superheroes like their sweats glistening off their like 6-pack, 8-pack abs or whatever. Like most of the time they're shirtless. But in this case we had like a hero who just looked like
pointless.
He looked like a piece of shit. He was sweaty and raggedy throughout the whole movie. He didn't even change his clothes. He just looked like a drug user, like garbage guy, but he was just he didn't have any control really for the most part of like his power, but he was a superhero portrayed, and it was a very different take and much better than so where to, and then Venom had covering Mary Jane's face.
It is better. I'm just not a fan of my Venom being like, we should have some tater tots, and it's just like
fair enough, but I didn't bring up Venom to have a debate.
Well, that's what we're doing.
Topher Grace and Venom. I was mostly just talking about like
you gonna defend that post-credit scene too.
That side character. This guy won't let me go. I'm not trying to compare the two. I'm mostly just saying like Venom is just such a well-known character for like a Spider-Man era, whereas I feel like majority of people won't even know who Madam Web is.
What about Morbius? Because
that's what I
didn't even know who Morbius was.
That's what I was gonna bring up when Kirkland was done talking, but it kept going on forever.
Because you kept interrupting me.
Yeah, Taylor told me to. He messaged me probably.
Texting.
Morbius to me is a really good chance of being their solo. I think that could fail for them critically, and that will make them question. Or not, sorry, maybe critically, because Venom failed from them critically, but I think financially, and that could make them pull back and be like, maybe let's not do a Madam Web movie. Let's do some more. Because even Craven, they're talking about doing a Craven movie, and I still don't think he's popular enough. No. Like, I think like the popular ones are the Doc Ocks or Green Goblins, but I don't want a fucking Doc Ock movie. No, I don't even want a Morbius movie. I don't want a Craven movie. I want them all in Spider-Man. But if you're going to do solo movies, you got to pick and choose. Kirkland's right. Venom is the one. That's the one that my mom knows, the black evil Spider-Man, even if it's just that. But Morbius, I don't know. I keep saying this. I don't know if it's on my most anticipated when we do the movie preview at the end of the year. I think it might be just because I just want to see how that goes down. Not because of hype, just because I'm so curious. Why did they choose this movie? Is it going to play? And I don't think it is, because I also don't think, and this is not anything, he has been a good actor, but I don't think Jared Leto is a massive star either. I don't think he's someone that people, unless you're a 30 Seconds to Mars fan, run out to see. So I think that's gonna bomb and lose the money, and they will not do a lot of these Sony movies.
Yeah.
And you'll do more Spider-Verses, you'll do more Venoms, Tom Holland's, but I think they'll pull back, be like, we're not doing that Silver Sable movie, we're not doing Craven, because who the fuck's gonna see more?
I think they're extremely
will.
limited.
We will, but like, I don't know.
I think they're extremely limited in like their pool. I think they, they look at Marvel and they look at like DC, and I think they want to create like their own
100%.
like their own universe. And it's like they're very limited because yes, they have Spider-Verse and they can build off of that, but like I feel like they got these limited amount of characters and they want to create this universe, and it's just not going to work for them. Like they see like obviously, I wish that. I could see them totally going up to like Feige and be like, "Hey, can we buy some of your characters?" They're like, "No, you guys go away." But I think that it's kind of like
interesting interaction.
Oh yeah,
really quick.
They're all
Feige
playing.
handle that. Yeah.
They're like, "Oh, let's go play a round of golf." Feige, and Feige's like, "Okay," and they get out there and like
he has a lightsaber.
He hits that like 18 hole and and he turns to Feige and says, "So, can we buy some of your characters?" And Feige's like, "Nope," and they just go and they finish their 18th hole. But
Here now.
They wait till the 18th hole.
They wait till the 18th
trying
hole.
to steal my gimmicks,
But I think that
I think you're right about the universe thing. The way I look at it is like they have like a regular sized dick and they bought like an XXL condom and they're just like, this will fit on us. It's like, no, it's too small. Like you have lots of wiggle room in there. It's not gonna work.
Wait, what's too small?
The penis.
Oh, okay.
So it's just like flopping. There's just so much there. It's like you don't have
Who's
enough
the penis
to fill
in
this.
this analogy.
Sony's the Spider-Man content is the penis,
Oh, okay.
and like the box office in the world is like the condom. It's
The
like
void. That's the condom. I was
you
thinking.
can't do even what DC like. Obviously, it didn't go well, but they could realistically, if those movies were all praised, they could do it because just the wealth of characters. I just don't think Sony can do that. And Spider-Verse, I think, is very different. That's very family oriented. That's fun. They could do spin-off Spider-Verse movies, but I don't think in live action it works the same.
Well,
and even Spider-Verse is their lowest making money Spider-Man movie ever. So it's not like it was a huge hit. It was just really critically, and it won an Oscar. But it's like I think all of them are like 700 and above, $700, 700,000, and then Spider-Verse is like at 390, only 400. So there's a big leap down. So
yeah, they'll have to do something that's very like climactic or whatever, and
is Morbius that?
I mean, it depends how they do it. It really does. I would, again, I wish that these characters were just all under the, ownership of Disney and Marvel, because I feel like, with Blade, perfect time. And if they go into like the Midnight Suns, this is the time that's when you throw in Morbius with them, And I feel like that would just play out super, super, super well. And like leave Madame Web in the dark where she belongs for now.
Put her in a Doctor Strange movie.
Put her in a Doctor Strange movie. But yeah, just it goes back in with keeping Spider-Man with Marvel, all that stuff. But I just feel like these characters, there's not enough that you can dive into. You can't just I can't take this phone and turn it into a brick of gold. It just is not gonna happen. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No one could do that, so that's why that analogy doesn't work.
I think Feige could. I think Feige could walk in and just.
My analogy is
zap.
there's some big man that could fill that XXL condom. I don't think there's anyone that can just like turn a phone into a brick of gold.
Jesus probably could.
But yeah, Jesus and Feige.
Well, it's one thing to fit into an
And
XXXL
Mads
condom, but it's another thing to make like the viewers like climax. So I think that's
what?
What?
That okay. I don't think
it's
that's
it's one thing to like for them, as you said, like to fit into the condom, but it's another thing. They could fit in there, but then as the audience, we're gonna be like, is that it? I didn't feel anything.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay.
You've made it somehow work. I don't know. At first, I didn't understand your raw dog analogy, but that's all right.
I wanted to quickly defend myself when I mentioned the whole thing about Madame Web. I kind of forgot that the Morbius movie was a thing. So I totally agree with you, though, that it'll probably like their solo. Where
Eat shit.
Yeah, like I'll definitely see it, but I'm not a billion people, right? Like I'm not gonna blow this movie out. Like even Venom, a lot of people have issues with it, me included. But like. It's still made tons of money.
Huge money.
Yeah.
Almost $1 billion.
Yeah, like
Morbius
that's
isn't making
insane. And like even Madame Web, like if everyone knew who Madame Web was, I don't think that would make almost $1 billion.
Madame Web.
With this Morbius movie, it depends how they do it. Because I could go for a good vampire movie nowadays.
But
like it's been a while.
But what do you think was the last vampire movie for you?
The last vampire movie for me that I
Daybreaker.
Underworld Blood Wars, right?
I like the Underworld
Twilight.
movies. It was probably Underworld 5. Holy crap. Daybreakers was Sam Neill, right?
Yeah, it was. I just don't think. Do you think vampire and then mega hit like Venom? Like this is here's the thing. Superhero movies, especially for Sony, I think they need to be big blockbusters. I don't think Morbius is a big blockbuster. I think let's say you did him in Spider-Man and everyone just walked out and Jared Leto become, this is a funny comparison, but he just became like the Heath Ledger Joker of comics. Everyone's like, Morbius is the best villain that's been around since Heath Ledger's Joker, and they're like, we're gonna make a movie. What? This is exciting. I don't think you can just start with Morbius, the living vampire. With Jared Leto.
Are they trying to turn him into an anti-hero kind of thing?
Yeah, I think it'll be like Venom. Yeah,
because I don't know. I just kind of thought like, I don't want like a soap opera drama or something like that, which I was kind of feeling I was gonna get with this movie. So
what?
Just like that weird camera effect that all soap operas have.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's the blood? Yeah. Where's the plasma? Why did you think it was gonna be a soap opera drama though? It's a vampire movie.
I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. There's some vampire movies out there where if it's like just one vampire, it's a very like drama, like soap opera, like kind of like aesthetic or like vibe.
So you mean
to
like
it.
you're not a fan of Interview of a Vampire, clearly, right? Like it's a deep dive into their immortality and they're depressed or they're sad. Like you don't want that. You want like fucking blood everywhere.
Van Helsing.
Yeah. And
I want fucking Van Helsing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I want Transylvania. Let's go there. Take me there.
We're
Sony.
not going to Transylvania. It's a guy who experiments on bats.
On bats. So okay.
Plasma.
So we're getting like.
We're getting the Hulk, but instead of turning the Hulk, he turns into a vampire.
Wow, interesting. I don't know. I mean, they could make it exciting. I don't want it to be like that equivalent to 2001's Hulk. You know, I want it to be like something like I don't know. I want it to be exciting.
Did that Hulk come out in 2001?
I'm gonna say 2001. You want to say
Which one is that?
The first
I'm
Hulk.
say 2003.
So the first one, like the MCU.
Yeah,
one?
the first one. The first one.
2000. Oh, I got to do a quick guess. I'll just do 2002, just to be
2002,
different.
okay.
I don't think that's
2003,
right.
bitches.
2003. What'd you say?
2003.
After you googled it,
You can look. My hands aren't even on the
I
fucking.
saw it on his eyes.
Then why didn't you guess
The
2003?
reflection. I want to be different.
Oh,
Yeah,
you want to be wrong.
I don't want it to be just boring. I want it, and I feel like it's gonna be.
Well,
boring.
I don't want any movie to be boring. You're not wrong there. They need to. I just don't know what they can do to make that movie good. They just need to. They got to make the best vampire movie of all time, and I don't expect.
I mean, maybe they throw Tom Holland in there for a little bit, but I don't even think that's gonna save it. To be honest,
No, but I think there's a chance he could have a cameo in it, or a
that would
post-credit.
just destroy.
It's happening. It's 100% gonna happen. He's gonna be in that.
Oh,
He's
no.
gonna be in Venom, and I'm gonna be so.
I'm
depressed.
okay with him in Venom, but I don't want to see. I don't want to see
You're
Peter
gonna get
Parker.
a Venom Morbius Spider-Man crossover.
I don't want to see Peter Parker
And Madam
facing
Web.
vampires. I'm sorry. I would.
But you
want to
see the MCU face vampires because if Spider-Man was in the MCU, vampires would be there.
Yeah, but at least it wouldn't come right away. It wouldn't be like, okay, in the MCU, we're throwing in this werewolf and Peter Parker into a Coliseum fighting it off. I think in this case with the MCU, we're getting like. They dabble into like Blade and like Ghost Rider, Moon Knight, She-Hulk. Like they're dabbling into these characters that are very different, and it bleeds into like even with like Doctor Strange, just dabbing into this multiverse where we're gonna see some janky shit.
I think he would have a cameo as Peter Parker or Spider-Man. I don't think he would swing in there and be like, "Here, Morbius, I'm here to fight." Like I don't think it'd be like that.
Okay.
I think it would just be, "Oh, he's in this universe, and we could see them together."
Okay. Well, I don't know, I'll have to wait to see this movie. It's gonna be wild as fuck.